Yeah, I thought I'd do a little snippet on just my views on the new changes to the combine and the new CBA proposal that was just put forward by owners in Indianapolis, kind of concurrently with the combine going on. I think you heard from a lot of front office. You heard from Gettleman himself in terms of the interview process. Now you only have 18 minutes per interview per guy. And I think that's a little bit different, and that's going to be a lot tougher on the GMs and the front offices in terms of getting your scouting teams ready, in terms of really who you want to interview. It's going to become a lot more selective. I don't really like the idea of it, but I understand where the NFL is trying to go to with that. Trying to really limit how much the teams can gain an advantage on each other because they like a prospect so much more a little bit earlier in the process. I think that, it's tough for a Giants fan to hear, but I think it's the right move. New workouts coming forward too, and we've seen that in the combine. I really like them. Adds a couple different elements. We see a few different things from the big guys that they can do now. But in terms of the CBA proposal, I like it. I did not think that I would be saying that. I didn't think I was going to be saying that right now. But I like it. And the owners put this forth. It's going to possibly raise player revenue up to 48%, maybe as high as 48.5%. That would be higher than any American professional sport on the player end. So I think that that's really the NFL trying to help out their superstar players in what I think is a class-oriented CBA, and I'll get there. The other thing, the 14-team playoff. So basically, instead of having a 1 and 2 seed in each conference, you would just have the 1 seed that would actually advance, and the 2 seed would play in the first round. I really like that. If this CBA is inked anytime soon, that can go into effect as soon as this season. You've seen a lot of guys kind of jawing about this. You're seeing Richard Sherman, Aaron Rodgers. They're really jawing about the adding on the game, as a lot of us know. That's the sticking point in the CBA. The owners want to extend the season 17 games instead of 16. And Richard Sherman, I think, just brings up a good point in his latest tweet. Look, this is, I think, what a lot of us know, and this is just the NFL pulling for extending this eventually to 20 and 21 games probably. In 5, 10, 15 years, we're going to be saying, let's not go from 19 games to 20 games, is what Richard Sherman's point is, which I agree with. That's just too many games. But this is the only way that the NFL really sees short-term income for them, is by just extending the schedule. It's as simple as that. I'm to a degree okay with it. Just don't touch the preseason. Those guys need those games, and 4 games of preseason I think is plenty. It's not too much like a lot of people think, and it's not too little. I think that it's perfect because you don't have to play your starters all 4 games, and nobody does anymore. Your week 3 and week 4 preseason games are for your 4th and freaking 5th team guys that are trying to work for practice squad jobs and for all different practice squad jobs outside your organization. It's just the nature of football. I also see trading camps going down to 16 away from 28. I like that. A lot of injuries in training camp. I think it's a good move. And then the thing that I'm all about here is extending the roster size, and really at all different angles. So the 53-man roster is proposed to go up to a 55-man roster. Your current minimum roster amount is 46, but that could go up to 48. So you would still have that 7-player leeway to play with the PUP list, play with the short-term, long-term IR, whatever you got to do. And then the thing that I absolutely love and adore, extending the practice squad, which is currently at 10 players, up to 12 players. And that would just be a grace period before going up to 14. And then also you're seeing, in addition to the minimum contract of rookies, that looks like an additional $100,000 to the base minimum for rookies. And if that is inked soon, this can also go into effect as soon as this season. So I really like this. I think this is a class-oriented CBA. They're trying to keep their superstars happy. They're trying to keep the younger players that, like the Victor Cruz, man, like the guys that make the teams in training camp in preseason. There's a lot of those guys that come out each year. I think the NFL's looking for those guys more than anything in the CBA to carry them over.